In this video, we're going to generate a report for an exterminator in Los Angeles named New Systems Exterminating. So let's go back to our report generator and we'll pick up their company name. We'll type in their core keyword, exterminator. And we'll pick the cities that we want to evaluate. So they service, say, a 12-mile radius. So let's go ahead and pick 12 miles from their actual office location. And we'll go ahead and get our report. The report is going to take about a minute now to collect and put together all the data that we need in order for us to be able to evaluate the value of local SEO for this particular exterminator. Alright, so here's the data that the report has generated. And what we're going to do is we're going to click on Copy the Clipboard, and we're going to head over to our ROI Calculator spreadsheet. And in our first tab, Data 1, we're just simply going to go ahead and click Paste in the topmost left cell. Alright, so our data has been pasted. It's going to take a few seconds for the Google spreadsheet to process all this data. And we'll click on the next tab, Assumptions. And based on a quick interview with the client, we'll find out some of the values that we're going to go ahead and plug into this sheet. And each client is valued at $3,500. That's what they value each client. Net profit margin per client is going to be 50%. And they're looking for as many jobs as they can get, or as many clients as they can get. Website conversion ratio, say we'll leave this at 10%. And let's say they close 60% of all leads that they generate. Okay, so now let's go ahead and click on the Reports, in the Reports tab. Okay, so we can see right away that by running a local SEO campaign for this customer, we can generate for them 80 new clients in the course of the first year, and valued at $294,000. That's additional revenue for their business. Now, traffic potential. How do we know that? Let's take a look at the traffic potential. So, in total, from all the cities that we selected for this exterminator, we can see that there are 5,540 people a month searching for their type of service. So searching Google, typing in exterminator near me, or exterminator plus name of city, or just exterminator. And this report, what it does is it checks in each city, in each individual city, the volume of searches for each one of these keywords. So we can see that in Inglewood, for example, there are 80 people per month searching on the keyword exterminator. And what we can see also is that the cost per click for that keyword is $25. Now, if we were to rank this business in the top 3 positions of organic, we'd be able to count on about 10 clicks to the website every month. That's a value right there of $251. Now, if we were able to get them a top 3 position in the local pack, that's an additional 6 clicks onto their website, valued at $157. Okay. Now, paid would also generate some traffic if we were able to, if we ran a paid campaign for them, and we could estimate about 3 clicks onto their website from paid if we wanted to go that route. Okay, so if we add up the traffic from all the cities, we can see that it adds up to 682 clicks, potential clicks onto their website. That's if we got them top 3 rankings within 12 miles of their location, and that's from organic. And if we got them top 3 rankings in the local pack for people within 5 miles of their location in Culver City. So if we were able to get them 682 visitors to their website based on the average cost per click of $27, that would be a value of $18,000 a month. In other words, that's what they would have to pay Google to get 682 people over to their website. So let's take a look at their rankings. And we can see that in Culver City, they rank 77 in the 77th position in organic. And they have a couple of top rankings in maps. When people search on Exterminator Near Me or Exterminator Culver City, they come up in the top spot. But besides that, no other rankings. So let's take a look at what that means in terms of their overall performance. We can see that, again, there's a little bit of a ranking in organic. Doesn't do them a whole lot of good because it's only it's way below the threshold of about 70-80%, which would mean top 3 positions needed to get traffic. And in the maps, they have a top position in Culver City, so that gives them about 11% of the opportunity that's available for them in maps. The value there is about $68 in terms of traffic to their website out of a total value of about $580. They're not doing any paid from what we can see, and overall they're missing out on about 99.63% of the traffic that a great SEO campaign could generate for them. Alright, so let's take a look at who their competition is. And we can see in organic, there's Yelp at the top and Thumbtack. Then there's a couple of larger exterminators, Western Exterminator, Orkin, and there's Home Advisor and Yelp. The national brands are highlighted in yellow. And these are all the top organic competitors. Then in maps, we have, again, Western Exterminator has 17 different positions in maps, giving them a share of 10%. And Redondo Beach Exterminator has 13 positions. They're doing pretty well, 8% of map presence within the cities that we've selected. And then you see a whole bunch of other local companies that have some sort of a presence in the maps. In paid, we can see who the paid competitors are. And let's go on to the next screen. In factors, we can quickly show the prospect on the phone how they can generate better rankings, how we go about generating better rankings, and simply we do it by improving their location authority and their domain authority. Those are the 2 main factors, as we can see. Location authority is 61% of the ranking factors, and domain authority another 28%. Okay, so let's go on to the next page. What we do is we enable our contractors to easily improve their location authority by using our tools to add lots of local content to their website. So we give them a breakdown of how that works, and overall their location authority is just built up over time to the point where after a year they added an additional 1,700 local content units to their website or to their online presence, and that helps boost their location authority tremendously. Now let's take a look at the projections. So what we can see from the projections is that their ranking performance in month 1 won't really change much, or month 2 or month 3, but we'll see some sort of traction kicking in month 4 and then growing from there. So after about a year of work with us, they're at about 15% of the maximum opportunity that's available in terms of local rankings in the cities that we selected. And then after a year of working with us, we estimate that they will reach about 30% of that full opportunity. And which means that in 30, they'll get top 3 rankings in 36% of the cities that we selected in terms of organic rankings and local PAC rankings. And based on their conversion ratios and their sales conversion ratios and the estimated lifetime value of a client, we can estimate that these would be their gross revenues. So month 4, they should generate about $4.5 thousand in revenue, and then growing from there. Now, let's take a look at some of the expenses. We can customize the expenses related to SEO, but what we can see here is that for managed SEO, in this case, say we charge $1,000 a month. For building up the domain authority through backlinks, say there's an additional $500 a month. And then, of course, they have their cost of services or cost of goods, which they mentioned is 50% of their gross sale amount. So if we add all these values up, we can see that their total costs are going to be at month 4, 9.6 thousand, 15,000, 21,000, which leaves them a certain net profit. So month 1, 2, and 3, they're not generating any income from SEO, so they're negative. But then month 4, they're starting to generate some net profits, and we can see that overall, over time, their cumulative net profit is growing very nicely. Month 12, they're at $47,000 in net profits from SEO. And after 24 months, they're at $291,000 in net profits. Here are some metrics to look at. So we can see here the return on investment, or the ROAS, return on advertising spend. And we can see that it's looking pretty good. And we can also see the value of the SEO that we're generating for them in terms of what it would cost them if they had to pay Google for the traffic that we'd be generating for them through SEO. And we can see a chart that we can expand and will show us how their net profits grow over time. Okay, so let's take a look at what PPC can add to this customer in terms of profitability. We can see that with PPC, we're going to gain rankings or traffic a lot faster than with organic. Month 2, we can estimate that after launching our PPC campaign, we are at about 20% of the full opportunity, and then we grow over time. We optimize. In the second month, we're generating 5 clients for the customer. After about 12 months, PPC adds another $243,000 in gross revenue. If we deduct some of the expenses, say for running the campaign, so we can customize the spreadsheet to include our exact fees, but say we charge $800 for running PPC. The customer spends $2,200 in month 2 on ad spend. They, based on their numbers, which they have $8,400 in cost of goods. So the total costs are $11,000, and what we can see is that they remain with a net profit of $5.4 thousand. After 12 months, they've already made a profit of $80,000. That's from PPC. Okay. So also we can see here's the return on investment, or the ROAS, return on advertising spend, for their PPC campaign, which looks reasonable. If we combine these two together, we can see that if we run an SEO and PPC campaign for this customer, they have an investment during the first month, but then they'd be making money starting month 2 and on. Now in this sheet, we can take a look at what would happen if we increased our PPC budget. Say we want to spend $5,000 a month on PPC. Well, seems like a winner to me. We increase our profitability within 12 months to $291,000, $756,000 in gross revenue with $291,000 in net profit. Say we do a very good job with our PPC and we improve the quality score to a 7. Here's what happens. Now we generated an extra $100,000 in profits for a customer from their $5,000 monthly spend. Now if the customer complains that they don't want to spend money on domain authority, for example. Let's remove PPC for a second. And say the customer says, you know what, I'm not interested in building up domain authority. Let's see what happens. So without domain authority, things aren't looking very good for this customer. They're going to generate a net profit of $24,000 only. Say they're interested in domain authority, but they're not interested in building up their location authority. So say their location authority is very poor. Well, they're not going to be making money. In fact, they'll be paying for services but not getting any results. They'll be losing money. If they just did an average job on their location authority, they'd be making $58,000. But if they did a very good job on their location authority, that number grows to $129,000. Okay, so if we take $129,000 from SEO, we're doing a decent job, actually a very good job in local authority and domain authority, and we add to it a PPC budget of say $3,000 a month, well, the customer is going to be generating $277,000 in net profits. That's if the quality score of our campaign is 7. If the quality score is 5, which is going to be your average quality score, then PPC is still very good, but you might want to just start out with SEO. Now let's say we want to find out, we want to kind of reverse engineer what the competition is doing. So these are all the competitors, and I want to find the keywords they use to generate their traffic, all these competitors, from both organic and maps. We'll go ahead back into our report. We'll click on the competitor keyword ranking report tab. We'll paste the competitors, which is copied from our spreadsheet, and we'll go ahead and get our report. Alright, so now that the report has completed generating, let's go ahead and copy it to our clipboard. And we'll click onto Data 2. We'll click on Paste. We'll move on to the Competitor Keywords tab. So we can see that this is still processing. It'll take it a minute. Okay, so the top performing keyword is by Orkin, which is a nationwide company. So this keyword is generating this traffic nationwide. And it's the #1 money-making keyword, valued at about $450,000 in organic traffic that they're generating from that keyword. Pest control is the second most valuable keyword. Extermination near me, termite, all these keywords are very valuable. So if you can compete on these keywords, if you can outrank Orkin, you're going to take away their most valuable keywords, their most valuable traffic-generating keywords, and you're going to get a lot of value from your rankings. Instead of focusing on the wrong keywords, this is what your competition is generating its traffic from. This is what you want to beat them. These are the keywords you want to beat them at. So all these keywords are very valuable, and these are the keywords to steal away. Okay, let's take a look at some reports that we can share with our clients. So you can brand these reports. You can just replace your company with your company name. So you can do that just by replacing the values in the settings tab. Okay. So report 1 is how you rank versus your top 54 competitors in the Los Angeles area. So these are the top 54 competitors. Now you have some valuable information to share with your prospects. Okay, and if you share with them this sheet, or you can turn this into a PDF and send it to all your prospective customers, then you can add here a link where they can book a call with you. Then you can send them another email with another report. 100 most valuable keywords for exterminator companies in Los Angeles area. And these are the most valuable keywords. Okay, report number 3. Another report that you can share with your customers or with your prospects. All right, so now that we've done all this, say you close the deal with a customer, great. If you haven't closed the deal, or even if you want to close other customers in the same area, now that you have all this information, it's a piece of cake. So what you do is you grab all the yellow highlighted cells on this sheet. Okay, just copy them. And you go back to your report generator, and you click on Lead Exporter. So you can set up a quick integration between your own CRM and LocalSEOValue. You do that in the webhooks tab. Just put in your Zapier or your Zap, okay? And you can add multiple Zaps. And then you go to Lead Exporter. Now that there's integration between our system and your CRM, you can just go ahead and paste the data you just copied and click Send. And all these competitors that we're just looking at are now going to be imported into your CRM. So as an example, let's refresh our CRM screen. Let's take a look at prospects. Okay, so we see that these leads are being imported. So, for example, American Rat Control was just imported a few seconds ago. Let's click on their account. Here's their phone number, so we can call them from our CRM. And here's all sorts of data. So we just established earlier that we can generate $290,000 within 12 months in gross revenue. Of course, if we include the PPC, the number would be a lot higher. We could do that as well. And all the data that we generated and all the reports that we generated are available to us in our notes, so that you can have a very in-depth conversation with your lead and let them know that you really know what the market is looking like, who the top competitors are, what needs to be done in order to beat them, top keywords, how to go about it, how to build their location authority, their domain authority, what kind of return on investment they can expect. And start sharing, you can share with them the reports that we just looked at a short while ago, and hopefully close them. At least several of the 50 leads that we just imported, you should be able to close based on the data that you already have. So we just imported a whole bunch of leads into our CRM, and hopefully close a few more deals. So I hope you enjoyed this walkthrough, and we'll try to get some more videos going to give you even more insights into what local SEO value can do for you.